Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm KandyCorpse, you can call me Kay, and today we are going to be reading some more paranormal encounters, true paranormal encounters on Reddit. So let's just get started, honestly. Let's just jump right into these stories. So I'm just going to, the subreddit I use is r/paranormal encounters, and I just went to the top posts of the week. And I'm just going to go through any I haven't seen. I try to do these ones once a week for those who haven't seen my videos, just so I make sure I don't read the same ones over again. This week seems to be poppin'. Bro, normally these have maybe a couple comments. This is Theo in my lap, by the way, for those of you who are new. He is one of my 3 kittens. Well, not really kittens anymore. They're 7 months old, but he's one of my chipmunks. This is Theodore, and then Simon and Alvin are around here somewhere. One of them's at my feet. So there's there he is up there. That's Alvin. He's coming to join us. So they're going to be reading these stories with us. Anyway, I'm kind of excited because quite a few of these have like a few hundred upvotes and hundreds of comments. I'm actually excited. So this first one is called, I feel like the mom in horror movies that everyone thinks is crazy. So this story reads, we moved out. There's already a typo and it's making me like glitch. We moved out family, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to say our. Out of state a little over a year ago. 6 months in, my daughter, that normally sleeps well, woke up screaming. I came upstairs to put her back to sleep, and while I was in the room, I heard loud breathing, not mine or my daughter's. I assumed our cat or dog had gotten into the room and was hiding in the closet. I got up, put her in her crib, walked over to the closet, and as soon as I was in front of it, the sliding door of the closet slammed shut. I grabbed the baby and had my husband investigate. He said it was probably air vents, but I don't think so. Since that one was so short, I am going to go through some of these comments. Sometimes I don't, depending on how long they are, but I'm going to go through some of these top comments just because this one's short. I experienced this for years growing up. Heavy breathing next to my ear, following me around the house when I'm alone, footsteps creaking on the floorboards, etc. House is blessed by a priest, is stopped for about 6 months, then came back with a vengeance. The only way it stopped was when we got a dog, in parentheses, German Shepherd. She'd bark at random walls and corners, or when the walking was coming towards my brothers or I, extremely aggressively with the hair on her neck/back standing up. After a couple of those incidents, it stopped until we moved out of that house. That's kind of crazy. So our second story is called Scariest Thing That Has Ever Happened to Me. Oh, this one's a little bit longer. Not too much though. To begin, this happened about 10 years ago, and I've only ever told this to a few people face to face. Most people think it's a tall tale. It was honestly one of the most unsettling things that has ever happened to me and changed my life from a condescending skeptic to somewhat of a believer. Background. When I was a 22-year-old second-year uni student, no drinking, no drugs, living in the Stoke area of the UK, I rented an old middle terrace house in second year with my then girlfriend and some friends. Alvin, please just look at his face. My little Alvin. Look, why you look so grumpy? You're the one who wanted to sit with me. He's just blocking the camera. Alright, I'm just gonna leave him like that for now. It was a creepy and dark house, as it only had windows at the front and back. It had a dingy and damp old basement with lots of old furniture stuffed inside, and a black cat would show up at the back door every night meowing, which I befriended and fed. It was also creepy because of the dark and muddy cul-de-sac that served as a communal courtyard and car park. All of this didn't really overly bother me, however. I grew up in a pretty creepy old house that was built in the 1800s. It did, as I later learned, bother my downstairs housemate and his girlfriend, who heard regular footfalls at night in the hallway and adjacent living room, only to find nobody when he'd sneak out to look. I also discovered a year after this event that the students who lived there the year prior all believed the house was haunted and were glad to move out. So the main story. My term ended 4 weeks after all the other attendance because I had to do clinical placement. This means that I lived in the large house alone, which I loved. I'm an introvert and I love alone time. It started great. For weeks I enjoyed it despite the background creepiness. I would just reason any creepiness away as I still do now. However, after the 2-week mark, I became aware of a creeping sense of dread that I couldn't rationalize or find cause for. I'm not an overly anxious person, and I enjoy my own company, and nothing weird had happened. I began to feel very unwelcome and very much not alone. I felt how a prey animal must feel when they feel eyes on their back. I began to feel so scared that even in the day, I would take the 3-mile walk onto campus and sit and work in the library, if not on placement. I'd come home and be afraid. I even devised a system for moving around the house at night without ever being in an unlit area. I also did this during the day in the windowless areas. I had to move from my large, comfy room into the smallest bedroom, lock the door, and sleep with my back to the wall, often with the light on. I was inexplicably afraid. On the final day, I had to lock all windows, turn off all plugs, get some stuff from the basement, and lock the back door before I left. I was utterly terrified and felt like I was moving in slow motion the entire time. I went around systematically, ensuring a light was always on and that I wasn't in darkness. I had piled all my stuff, backpack and duffel bag. The rest was mercifully packed in my car the day before at the front door. This is where it gets really scary and I cannot explain what happened adequately. It was late afternoon and still light outside, but the house was dark. I steeled myself to turn the hallway light off, but the light switch was about 4 meters from the front door 4 meters from the front door at the foot of the stairs. I steeled myself to turn the hallway light off, but the light switch was about 4 meters from the front door at the foot of the stairs. It was night dark upstairs. Normal because no windows and all the doors were shut. I turned the light off and scurried away without turning my back to the stairs. The daylight still lit the hallway from the open front door, but as I get to the door, the strangest thing had happened. My neck hair stood up on end. To my shame, if I needed to be at the time, I think I'd have peed myself. I could feel/see, I can't explain, a black and vicious shadowy cloud slowly making its way down the stairs towards me. I felt such malevolence. I basically tripped backwards and Alvin. He just sat on Theo's head and now they're like arguing. Just trying to get through this video. I felt such malevolence. I basically tripped backwards into the street and into the daylight, shut the door, and everything felt fine, like nothing had just happened. I locked the door and posted the key through the letterbox, and I've never seen the house again. The only way I can explain the feeling is likened to a Dementor and Ring Wraith attack, except there was a caped humanoid figure chasing me. I couldn't see it, but I knew. The fear and the dread was indescribable, and I have never since experienced anything like it. I had/have no mental health issues. I was happy and not stressed at the time, etc. I even feel crazy and embarrassed retelling the story. Any other experiences like this? Ooh, that first comment is a long one. And I'm not reading that because someone is retelling their own story. And that was a lot. And a lot of these replies are the same. So I'm not going to go through these comments because that's going to take a long time. And I don't want to have to edit all of that out, to be honest. One quick announcement before we continue. I just wanted to let everybody know that my website is having a sale all month long for Black Friday. I am doing 50% off every item. They're all already marked down to 50%. As an example, here's one of the necklaces that I made that is going to be on shop. Some of the many bracelets I have, as well as I do have a few of these real snake shed pendants left that I did make myself. The snake shed was ethically sourced, as well as these crystals. So yeah, if you're interested, everything in my shop will be linked down below, and everything will be 50% off. You don't have to put a code or anything in, but I do have codes that work with it as well. If you use TikTok 10 or Instagram 10, both are in my bio of both of my social platforms, you will get an extra 10% off. So if you want 60% off your entire order, go to my website right now, the entire month of November. Get yourself some crystals. Get yourself some crystal jewelry, and if you're going to go out ghost hunting, make sure you got something, get some protection, get something for cleansing, mental clarity, you know what I'm saying? Like, get you some crystals, okay? Okay. All right, this one's not too long either. This one's just called Would Like Input. Oh my. The upvotes just keep decreasing. That's a little crazy. Okay. I am a critical care nurse, and I have been for 20 plus years now. In my 2 decades of experience, I have witnessed inexplicable miracles as well as some things that I can only describe as unnerving or odd. I am a scientist and a skeptic, but for the life of me, I still cannot conceive of an explanation for what I'm about to tell you. Bear with me. It was a slow shift, meaning we only had 2 patients in the department that day, and we both were on full life support and heavily sedated. Nope. Slow shift. 2 patients in the department that were both on full life support and heavily sedated. The only other person in the department was my coworker, who was sitting a few feet from me at the nurse's station. I was charting, she was typing. This was in the olden days. Oh, so by typing, I think they mean on a typewriter. It was very quiet that day. We heard a loud rattle coming from the direction of the crash cart, which was on a central wall. Startled, we both looked up and saw the crash cart get shoved by an invisible force. It was plugged in, and the cord was approximately 6 feet long. The car traveled as far as... Ow! Thank you so much for scratching my leg when you stood up. That was so awesome. The cart traveled as far as the cord allowed, then stopped. After we were done gawking at what we had just observed, we turned and stared at each other speechless. I got up to examine the cause, but as far as I could tell, nothing had caused that type of commotion. Crash carts can weigh 100 plus pounds and are generally not easy to move or maneuver. One more thing. Many of our... Please, with the nails. I'm almost done. One more thing. Many of our non-ventilated patients would tell us that they see children running around the department and sometimes outside the windows. The nails again. His nail is in my finger. You're not being very nice to me right now. I messaged my coworkers years later, and they're pulling on my headset. Just let me get this last sentence out. I messaged my coworker years later, and she still is unnerved by what we saw that day. Hospitals are weird places. And that's the end of that one. These cats are just like relentless right now. Yeah, a lot of emotions go on in hospitals. Sometimes good things happen and people get better, but a lot of times bad things happen and people don't get better, and the last thing that a lot of people see is a hospital room. So a lot of good things can happen in hospitals, but there's also a lot of really heavy, really traumatic emotions and feelings and just things of the sort in hospitals. So hospitals definitely I would consider to be quite a hot spot when it comes to the paranormal, for sure. There's just so much that happens at hospitals. It would surprise me if a hospital wasn't haunted, Okay, everyone, thank you so much for watching. That is going to be it for this video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and leave a comment below letting me know what you think, your thoughts, if you have any opinions, and tell my chipmunks that you said hi. They were very needy today. They wanted attention, and he sat up there the whole time. But Alvin decided to be a little rambunctious and decided to cause trouble right at the end. So, yeah, if you want to see more of them or you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe. And yeah, just if you want to hang out with me and see more of what I've got coming, I'm going to eventually, don't know when, start doing more than just reading off a computer screen. I'm going to be showing a little bit more of things that I do kind of at home with myself in my practice, spirituality, as well as with other people. I will be having other people on my channel. I will be going places. Again, I don't know when, probably not super soon, but that will be happening eventually. So if you guys want to see that, you will have to wait. I don't have any definites yet, but if that's something that you're excited for and you want to see more of, make sure you stick around. Have a good night. Thank you for watching.